Well, welcome everybody to this online roundup of National Whale and Dolphin Watch 2024. I'm Robin Petch. I'm the Sea-Watch ambassador here in Yorkshire as well. And we also have with us Simone Evans, our sightings officer. Hi, Simone.
Hi, Robin. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Well, it's been a great week, and Simone will be back on in just a little while to give you the latest news. I must stress it is only the latest news because Simone has weeks of work yet before the final story is available. But yeah, we've got some wonderful things to share with you. So we will have Simone back in a moment or two, and I will begin my part of the presentation. See you later, Simone.
Hi, thanks, Robin. See you in a bit.
So I've just got to restart that PowerPoint, everyone. If you give me 1 second, I will be with you. Is that on screen, Simone?
No, not yet.
Okay, let's just try that again.
Yes, that's good.
There we go. So again, welcome everyone. I'm going to have a little look at the background really to National Whale and Dolphin Watch, and also the background to the Sea-Watch Foundation and what we do and why we do it. And charity's been around for a long time now, and the work was going on many years before the charity actually began. And the whole idea of it was to monitor the numbers and locations of the whales and dolphins, porpoises, of course, around the British Isles. Back then, in the late 1960s, early 1970s, there was almost nothing known. In fact, most people didn't even realize we had them. People thought they just appeared for a little while and went away. We now know an awful lot more because we've built up this knowledge of where they can be seen. And if we know how well the whales and dolphins are doing, of course, we know how well the environment is doing. And our research helps look into the effects of things like chemical pollution, capturing fishing gear, and so on, all of the things that can affect cetaceans in our waters. To do this, we involve the public in that scientific monitoring. It's very much a citizen science charity. We do have a small team professionally employed, but most of us, myself included, are volunteers who give up their time to support the charity and watch for wildlife around the country. We try to raise awareness and understanding, and one of the big reasons for National Whale and Dolphin Watch is to do just that. Our work goes on all year round, but people don't necessarily know that. So we try to raise awareness of it through this 1 week of events in particular. And once we have this information, we can let people know more about it, and most importantly, inform and advise for better environmental protection. The Cardigan Bay Special Area of Conservation, where Sea-Watch's headquarters is, those dolphins in that area are protected under a special area of conservation specifically because of Sea-Watch's work there under the years studying that population. To make that happen, we have a network of volunteers, and I know many of you watching this evening will be part of that network. Every coastal county of the UK does have a regional coordinator, United Kingdom and Northern Ireland, I should say, and actually we're supported in Southern Ireland too by the Irish Whale and Dolphin Group. But that's our network of coordinators. Each of those has a team of volunteers who spend time on the coast or on boats reporting those sightings. And once we have gathered that information, as I say, going back a long time, as organizations, it began with the Mammal Society Cetacean Group back in 1973, but actually Professor Evans, our director, actually began the work in the late 1960s, more or less independently with help from friends and colleagues and support from Oxford University, but officially became part of the Cetacean Group, and then ultimately Sea-Watch was formed as a separate charity. And that data is the primary source of knowledge of the movement of whales, dolphins and porpoises, of cetaceans around the British Isles, and has been for many years. It's actually grown into the largest database in Europe, one of the largest in the world. Now, I know this data is actually out of date. I haven't updated this slide for a long time. I believe we have in excess of 4,000 members, 4,000 people now contributing sightings. Some of that is effort-related data, people sitting there recording environmental conditions for an hour or two. Some of it is just a casual sighting. They saw a whale, saw a dolphin, and sent in the report to the website or via our app. And so, as I say, we have this huge database, largest in Europe, well in excess now of 125,000 records. Again, that needs a significant update now. So if you want to support us, there are many different ways you can do so. Just log on to the Sea-Watch website, as you see there, seawatchfoundation.org.uk for more information. Lots of information on there of all the different things we are and have been involved with, plans for the future. If you'd like to get more involved, please do become a supporter. I run the membership scheme. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But from only £3.50 a month, you can have a regular monthly newsletter, a bulletin, and also the magazine quarterly. There's the Adopt a Dolphin scheme. That's based on the dolphins of Cardigan Bay. BBC Wildlife regard it as the best Adopt a Dolphin programme of its kind because it's specifically rooted in the dolphins our research team are working with and studying. You can even go to Wales and go out on a boat and possibly see your very own dolphins, certainly members of its pod. We have various fundraising pages, including the PayPal Giving Fund. And a quick mention to easy fundraising. A lot of people are not aware of easy fundraising, but if you sign up to that once, it takes 5 to 10 minutes to do so maximum. Once you are actually registered with easy fundraising, all of your online shopping will generate donations to Sea-Watch. You pick the charity, of course, you want to support. Once you have registered, and you don't pay a penny, you do exactly the same shopping you have always done, but easy fundraising will send us a small donation via the particular business that you have bought something from. So it's really, please do, really well worth registering. It will cost you nothing except a few minutes of your time, and you'll then be generating donations to us for a while. Okay, well, I'm going to move on now and just tell you a little bit about my National Whale and Dolphin Watch. It's fairly typical, I guess, of many of you, many people who've been doing this. I used to be the regional coordinator for Yorkshire because I live here, but Stuart Baines, Mr. Scarborough Porpoise, now takes on that role since I've become the ambassador. But I still do a number of watches, as do others, from Flamborough Head in Yorkshire. It's a very well-known area. It's had various levels of protection over the years, most recently becoming a special area of conservation in 2005. Not specifically for cetaceans, though, more for the interesting seabed features and the other marine life in the area, including the seabirds. It's an important area for lobster and crab as well. But it's a great location to watch and has become a very, very good cetacean watching spot. Used to be really just porpoises, but now we have bottlenose dolphins on a regular basis, and you can often during late spring, summer, autumn see minke whales from there. This is the view southwards from Flamborough, and these rocks here have become a major haul out spot for grey seals, and I'll show you some pictures of those a little bit later. Just below where I'm standing there, earlier, a few weeks ago, there were puffins in a number of burrows along there and in the area just behind me. It's just a short distance from RSPB Bempton, which has significant numbers of puffins in season, but actually mainly is there because it's the biggest gannet colony in biggest mainland gannet colony anyway, in the UK, I believe in Europe. So this is us at the watch point. Just a few other people that gathered to watch with me for a while. A couple of people stayed with me for pretty much the whole session. And we did eventually see some dolphins, about half an hour into the watch, in fact. I thought we'd maybe missed them because some birders told me as I came down to the watch point that dolphins had passed a couple of hours earlier heading north at speed. and they'd also seen a minke whale a couple of miles out and harbour porpoises too. But this family pod of dolphins came racing past the head. It came tight along the coast and appeared round the corner. I didn't notice it at first. In fact, I was talking to a couple of people about our work, and the gentleman behind me said, "Are those dolphins just over there?" And sure enough, they'd come round the corner from Bridlington, round the headland. This is a mum with one of the, I would say juvenile rather than calf. This is one of the younger calves that was with the group. A couple of adult dolphins there charging along, as you see, with all of the splashing, really surfing past the headland. Wonderful sight to see. Had a lot of excited people, as you can imagine, people out there for the day, thoroughly enjoying this sight. And there in the background you can see another of the calves, and you can just make out there are actually a few little markings on there that suggest it's a very young calf. I've got a better picture a little bit later of these dolphins, and there it is. You can actually see fetal folds, those creases, vertical creases forward of the dorsal fin. You can see two very clearly just forward of the fin, two slightly less obvious a little further forward. And there's also a second calf, just second from the left. So the forward animal in the background is the larger one, the mother, and then just appearing out of the water there is another calf. There it is, just a fraction of a second later. And there you can see quite clearly those fetal folds on the youngster. Now they're there from birth, from when the baby is curled up inside mum. They're there for a good few weeks, even a few months, and occasionally even a year old or more, you can still see the faintest of marks, but these are still fairly well defined. So no more than a few weeks or a couple of months or so old, probably, we would guess. Now, I mentioned the grey seals. That was the other exciting feature, and you can see there, just as the tide is dropping, the rocks nearest to us, there's 3 or 4 seals already hauled out on that one, more on the ones just round the corner there. But you can also see all those heads in the water. And when we're counting seals, we're only really supposed to count ones that are in the water, not animals hauled out on land, because we're watching the sea, not the land. It's the Sea Watch Foundation. However, in total, by the time they had all hauled out a little later on, we had 400 grey seals, in excess of 400 grey seals around the headland, probably 100 to 150 in the water at any one time that I could see. But clearly, you know, for there to be over 400, they were all in the sea at some point or other. I just didn't count them all at the right moment. So we had a great watch from Flamborough. My watch today, less successful. A couple of grey seals off Filey Brig was my tally for today. But other people have been a little luckier, and we've got reports coming in that we think people saw the humpback whale we've had in Yorkshire off Hornsea earlier today. That'll be confirmed later once Simone has been able to go through all of the figures. She might even have the report filed by now, I don't know. But I just heard that one on the grapevine. And I also know that further north at Saltburn by the Sea, the Tees Valley group who support our work, a group from the Wildlife Trust there, and part of a joint project with Sea Watch Foundation, I know they saw bottlenose dolphins off Saltburn too. Possibly, who knows, the ones that left Flamborough very early this morning, who knows, but yeah, they did have some good sightings too. And there were some harbour porpoise too around Marine Drive for Mr. Scarborough Porpoise with his event today. So it's been a very successful day from Yorkshire, but we will move on in a moment and hear how successful it's been around the country. I'm going to look at these a little later, but a very quick plug for the membership scheme. If you're interested in cetaceans and you'd like to support our work, do visit the membership website, members.seawatchfoundation.org.uk. No www notice, just members.seawatchfoundation.org.uk. And you can actually download a free copy of the Sea Watcher magazine to see what you think about what you will receive as a member, a monthly bulletin, a quarterly magazine, sightings reports, news, sightings, hotspots for where to go and watch and so on. And you'll be supporting the work that we do. Or, as I mentioned earlier, adopt a dolphin, one of the Cardigan Bay dolphins, for only £3.50 a month. You'll get a lovely little pack. It's aimed more at younger people, but we do have adult adopters too. Get a wonderful poster and information and a cuddly little dolphin. And if you then visit Newquay, you can go out and perhaps even see your own dolphin. And finally, we'll mention the app a few times. This is the way we've been recording all the sightings this year. This is a free download, and it's a genuinely free download. We got a lot of funding and support to create this app to enable people to report sightings on a casual basis, to do full surveys either at sea or on land. There are video guides on there for the animals. There are photographs of them. There's a species pack containing over 30 animals, cetaceans, plus things like grey seals, information about them to help you. So it's a field guide in there as well. There are maps of your own sightings and other people's too. So it's a great way of getting involved. And you can download that, as I say, for free. Okay, well, I will stop sharing my screen now for a little while, and we'll invite Simone back, and we'll get Simone to talk a little bit about how amazing this week has been. Simone, it's over to you.
Right, thanks, Robin. You just enable the share, please, and I'll put my screen up. Okay, is that up?
Yep, I can see your screen.
Let's just hide these. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. I'm just going to give a quick roundup of the week, how it went in the sightings, show a couple of pictures. There's obviously still a lot of data coming in, as Robin mentioned, and we still have people doing watches at the moment, so we'll get the data in the next couple of weeks. So be working hard for the next couple of weeks and months to get all of the data into the database and analyzed and verified. So, sorry, it's just stuck, does not want to move on. There you go. Okay, so far we've had over 300 watches registered. We're still receiving some of the information of people that have done watches, so that's going to go up as well. Over 1,400 sightings so far, which is just amazing. I think that's more than last year. Recorded over 10,000 animals, which is just, again, amazing. Like I said, there's still loads of data coming in and instructions happening. I think in 2022, we had about 12,000 animals, so hopefully we'll exceed that this year because the weather was just a lot better. And so far we've had 10 cetacean species recorded. So we might be pushing that up to 12 if we're lucky, but we will see how that goes. Now for the data, 3 species or cetacean species that's been seen the most was bottlenose dolphins, harbor porpoises, and common dolphins. Again, some of the numbers, so the total amount of animals that's seen will be really high because some of the pods you just for species have larger pods. For instance, common dolphins compared to harbor porpoises will be a lot larger. And you can see that in the figures. So almost 3,000 common dolphins seen, over 4,000 bottlenose dolphins have been seen. Some very interesting sightings with the white-beaked dolphins. And as Robin mentioned, the humpback whales that's been spotted, they have been reported to us. So I believe they have been confirmed. And then we also had some fin whales up in off Kinghorn and off Isle of Scilly. And there's been some fin whales spotted as well, and a couple other places around the UK. The updated tables will go up on our website, so you can just go to National Whale and Dolphin Watch and click on the sightings. We will update it this afternoon or this evening, and you can see most of the sightings where they've been seen, dates, and that would be per region as well. And then by the end of the year, when we've received all the data, there'll be a report with all the analysis for regions and species and everything, and then that will be made available for everybody to watch or to view. Now, apart from cetacean species, we also get other reports in. So we've had the seals, as Robin have mentioned, grey and harbour seals, and then also some sharks. So the thresher shark, basking sharks, and a blue shark was also reported. And then also sunfish. So this is for cetaceans. We've had almost 1,300 sightings and nearly 9,000 individual animals spotted. So again, these numbers will go up as all the data comes in over the next couple of weeks. Okay, I'm just going to share a couple of photos that's been shared with us, or we've got permission to share with everybody. Some interesting ones. So at the top, we've got from Alistair Arbuckle from, I believe it's Canonry Point, and Spotnose playing with some seaweed and eating a very large fish there, trying to swallow it and doing some acrobatics. The bottom one's from Dean Harris, same location. Also a couple of bottlenose, really clear, nice close-up shots for the bottlenose dolphins over there. Then from AK Wildlife Cruises down in Falmouth, we've had the bottlenose dolphins, some harbour porpoises, loads of common dolphins, and also minke whale. On their Instagram, they shared a video. I think they had about 300 animals at one point, which was just amazing. So you can watch the video from there. And then next pictures again from bottlenose dolphins, are really big bottlenose jumping out there. And there's a little one also in the last couple of pictures jumping out in very light colour. This was Northumberland by Tracy Ann from the Newbigin Dolphin Group. There's some of the fin whale shots that we got from Bass Rock. And then at the bottom, we've had from Gary Waitman the grey seals that were eating we believe it's the harbour porpoise that was probably from bycatch, and just because there was a very clean cut on the tail, but swimming around with that. And then a very cute picture of all the seals that's been hauled out. Right, from Liam Pritchard, we had the Rizzo dolphins in Moray. And then again, a couple of bottlenose dolphins throwing fish in the air just off Mont, close to us, from Christina Worth. Lorna Boynton had a very distinct harbour porpoise, so that fin has got a good nick in it to help with ID up in North Wales. A nice bottlenose dolphin from Mark Baker, common dolphin from Mark Baker from Silly Wildlife Trust. And then below from Joe Richardson, one of these dolphins have been identified as Spot, so jumping out and being very happy in Northumberland. These are just a couple of the outreach pictures, that some of the events that we had on during the week. So we've got our watches on the boats that were going out, land watches of Munt. We had some sandcastle competitions. We had beach cleans and like hunts and rock painting, a lot going on during the week up here in Newquay. And we've got a picture from Chris and Sharon Blackmore from their watch site. And that's it for the pictures. Right, so I just want to say a massive thank you to all the observers who's registered watchers with us, and just everybody that's reported sighting to us or to someone else or on a social media. We'll get all of these sightings in all the boat operators that took part, and also that took people out to do National Whale and Dolphin Watch during the week. Also landowners that allowed anybody to be on their land for the week. Thank you very much for that. Massive thank you to all the interns and volunteers that worked really hard this week, long hours to get all the data in and all the events and stuff that were happening. So yeah, very late hours going on. Massive thank you to Robin as well for doing watches, for all the ambassador work that you do, and for doing this tonight for us, of being our presenter. And then lastly, to all the sponsors for the raffle prizes. So we had a raffle beginning of the week for local people, and then we have a big raffle later when all the data has been received. So anybody that's done watches for us will go into the raffle. We do have your details or someone that sent it in to us. So we will reach out to you and yeah, hopefully win something. Now, all these companies are eco-friendly and sustainable, and thank you very much for everything. I think that is it from me for tonight. Thank you, Robin.
Oh, thank you, Simone. That's very kind of you to thank me, but the person who's doing all the work really is you. So
Yeah, I'm not alone. I've got a
no,
big team here
absolutely.
helping.
And yeah, I mean, we have a National Whale and Dolphin Watch intern who does an awful lot of work, works incredibly long hours. But you can imagine all year round there are sightings coming in to see watch, and Simone is phenomenally busy all of the time dealing with that. But for this week, pretty much everybody who is involved is out there watching. All the regional coordinators, all their teams, all our partners. I mean, we have a lot of partner organisations that also submit their sightings to us. So it's remarkable you've got so many things together already for this evening. So well done with that. And yeah, we look forward to seeing more later, don't we? For sure.
Definitely. Thank you, Robin.
Well, I'm going to say a little bit, everyone, now about the app that we've been mentioning. And just find my slideshow here. That app is a very important part now of collecting data for us. It all used to be pencil and paper. Is that there, Simone? That good?
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, good, excellent. Everything used to be done pencil and paper, clipboards, and so on. And a few years ago, as I mentioned earlier, we got funding to create this amazing app, partnered with Bangor University and others. And it's free to download for iOS or Android. And as you can see here, it will work on either a tablet or on a phone, tablet on the left, phone on the right. Exactly the same either way, just obviously a different shape, but all of exactly the same features. Same whether it's iOS or Android. Just look on the various app stores which are appropriate for your device. Look, that's the symbol that you are looking for the Sea Watcher app. And you can use it just to submit a one-off sighting if you happen to be on the coast somewhere and just see something and want to send it in. You can still log on to our website, Sea Watch website /sightings. You can submit them there, but it's just so much easier. Even if you don't have a signal, you can still actually complete this within the app. And as soon as you have a signal, it will just upload it for you. If you're involved in doing longer surveys, timed watches, effort data collection, as we call it, then you can do that too. And you can do a sort of sitting down traditional land watch, but you can now actually do a walking watch as well. If you regularly walk the cliffs, you can log that data. The GPS will record where you are and click when you have a sighting, as well as, of course, boat surveys. There are video guides to almost all of the species, so you can actually see what they look like when you are watching them moving. And those are part of this species pack I mentioned, with photographs and information about all of the different creatures. There are distribution maps that you can look at. You can review all of your sightings and other people's. So it really is a remarkable and game-changing piece of software app for your phone. Later this year, a major review of this will be completed, a big upgrade with much better mapping, a wider area of entry for the data, and a lot of new features. But it's amazing as it is, but it's going to be absolutely phenomenal when all of those new developments come. So if you're going to do some kind of survey, this is what you'll see. As I mentioned, these are the options: a walking or fixed point survey, or a sea survey on tablet or phone, as you see there. Here are some images from the species pack for the killer whale, and videos that you can click on, photographs of them in different locations, and all the key data. And this is a distribution map of when and where killer whales are most often seen in Britain and Northern Europe. These are the mapping areas that are going to have a really, really big upgrade. Very functional as they are, but they just look a little basic at the moment. We'll have much more detailed maps which will show the sightings on once this major update is full. But as you can see, very, very easy to focus in. The one on the left, for example, is just one of mine from a few years ago, 17 sightings in my part of the world. And so you can then zoom in and just click and click and click down until you get to each individual sighting. In this case, a couple of minke whales we saw on a boat survey. So there are our partners: Nova Innovation, the European Regional Development Fund, the CCAMS project, part of Bangor University. Huge thank you to them. But thank you to all of you who've been involved, not just in National Whale and Dolphin Watch, but throughout the year, reporting the sightings. Every single sighting is valued and very, very helpful. And I'm going to look, as I said, at the membership in a minute. The app is free and you won't be hassled for money at any point. It's a genuinely free resource. But as you will understand, handling all of this data, having all of these updates and things done, all comes at a cost. And a great way to support the charity is by becoming a member. And we'll finish this evening just by looking at that membership scheme. And so I'll just go back and share that screen as well. And that is there. Share that. Hopefully that is good to go. Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Simone, to give me a good nod in the background. So these are just some of the creatures you can see around Britain. I must admit, Chris and I didn't take them all in Britain, but all of these can be seen around the British Isles, just some of the photographs that are available. And premium members, one of the benefits of premium membership is access to a photo gallery of free photographs like this. But any level of membership will be a really big help. And as I've said, from as little as £3.50 a month, you can help support our work. This is the dedicated website, the portal for the Sea-Watch Foundation membership scheme. We call it My Sea-Watch. And on there, you can access all of the previous magazines and bulletins. Lots of information about how you can help, different ways of getting involved. And I'm slowly adding more information to it about various Sea-Watch projects, information about how to identify animals and so on. There is that address, as I mentioned earlier, members.seawatchfoundation.org.uk. And don't expect you to read all of that, but this is just a typical page on the site. And you'll see there is a free trial issue. So if you're not sure whether you want to join up or not, perhaps you'd like to have a look at one of the magazines. And we actually have two trial issues now. This is the original one, which gives you a lot of background about Sea-Watch. But our Orca special from a couple of years ago is now also available as a free trial. So do please join today. Just click the link and you can become a member and receive all of the benefits. And what are those benefits? Well, one of them is the Sea Watcher magazine. This is a quarterly magazine, up to around 40 pages, sometimes more, sometimes a little bit less. We aim for over 30, but we've invariably had over 40. And each month has a slightly different theme and different range of stories, but there are some typical things that are seen on a regular basis. One of those is sea watching overseas, and these are just pages from this month's, last month's Sea Watcher magazine, the very newest one. Dr. Evans, Professor Evans as he is now, wrote a wonderful article about sea watching in the Norway, and particularly in the Svalbard archipelago. I often contribute stories from my travels around the world. Our monitoring officer wrote a really good article about the monitoring project. the study that's going on there, particularly with data from the last year, but some really interesting background. And there's often a species fact file in there. Again, the most recent edition has beluga whale, but we have a lot to go through. We have 30 species to go through just for the UK. And actually, believe it or not, beluga is one of the UK species. It's not a regular one, but we have had the odd visit. You may remember there was one in the Thames. There have been a couple in Northumberland in recent years. This is a look at the bulletin. This is the latest edition of the bulletin. There's always a welcome page from the director. There are always sightings information. This is just the sightings map, but there's a couple of pages of detailed information about all of these and different sightings. And again, from Peter, there's some conservation news here from studies on important marine mammal areas. So lots of fabulous information, whether it's in the bulletin or the magazine, every single month. And there's a typical contents. This is from the Orca special that I mentioned, is now available as a free download for you to sample. Not everything that edition was about orca, so when I say there's a theme, it doesn't mean every article in there every month is to a particular theme. But as you see, species fact file, UK hotspots around the regions, lots of Sea-Watch news, one of my ambassador abroad stories all about my visit to Vancouver Island, and as I called it, the home of orca research, a conservation focus article, etc. So really fabulous range of things every single month for you to enjoy if you become a member. So as it says, please do join today. If you become a family member, just for an extra £1.50 a month, so £5 a month, as well as the membership benefit, you also get the Adopt a Dolphin magazine. You don't get the special welcome pack, but you do get the Adopt a Dolphin magazine. And if you become a premium member, all this and more besides, access to high quality digital photographs free of charge, a special marine mammal observers handbook, discounted boat trips, all sorts of additional benefits if you can afford to just give us that little bit more each month. But whatever level you join at, you'll be very welcome, very much appreciated, and you'll know that you are supporting some vital and really, really important work. So please sign up today. Well, I think that pretty much covers everything for this evening. So I hope everyone's had a wonderful National Whale and Dolphin Watch. I'm going to say goodbye from me right now. Another big thank you to Simone and the team, but to all of the observers, volunteers, supporters, recommended boat operators, everybody who's helped us. So it's good night for me, Simone.
Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Robin, again.
Thanks a lot. Bye, everyone. Happy watching.